Hi everyone, my name is Ashlie, Ashlie, and please don't forget to subscribe to me. I love to do makeup reviews, tutorials, declutters, and anything else you would request. So if you would like to see any of my future uploads, please click the bell next to the subscribe button and you will be notified of all my future uploads. Today I have a huge eyeshadow declutter. It is literally covering my whole floor and there's bins behind me that you cannot even see. I literally just counted all of my palettes up and I got 185 palettes. So get comfortable and let's get right into it. First, I got the Huda Beauty Desert for Dusk palette. I have to say I've literally had this palette like 4 years now. I think it has dried up a little bit. You could just see how hard this one has, a hard topping. It has bumps and it literally like doesn't really want to come off anymore. This is very, very expired, so I am unfortunately going to declutter this. Next, from BH Cosmetics, I have the BH Studio Pro palette. Most of it, sorry guys, I can't ever keep anything in my hand. You will get used to it, I promise. This is basically all shimmer, and I literally just think some of these are kind of the same. I'm not too thrilled when I look at this color story. Personally, I am going to declutter this. From Pure Festival 2.0. This does have a pretty fun color story, but you can see I've dipped into most of the colors. And I wasn't a ginormous fan of the color story or the formula in this one. I'll do a couple swatches. See, it's just very, there's nothing that's spectacular. It's nothing that is like, wow, look at that pigment. No, none of that. So I am going to finally declutter her. I've had her a couple years, now she need to go. From Tarte, I have the Graveyard Swamp Queen. Here is their color story. It does have a mirror as well. I don't like the quality or formula or color story, so needless to say, she going. From e.l.f. Chipotle palette, the color story is cute. It is supposed to be the lineup of things like beans, lettuce, you name it. The quality is amazing, I must say so myself. I just literally have so many palettes that are my favorite with the same type of quality, so I will let this go even though it is really hard. I don't want to, but I'm going to. Goodbye. I have a couple palettes from Believe Beauty, which is from the Dollar General. I do love their formula, but I do have other palettes that I love more, and I'm just sick of hoarding all these palettes, so I will let these go finally. Okay, from Tarte, I have this cute palette right here. Absolutely love this. It is a very natural palette. It does have some shimmers. It has white, pink, you know, nudes. I really love this formula. It is gorgeous. Look at that pigment. I do love this a lot. I am going to keep this in my collection. Soft Glam 2 from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This has become one of my ride or die palettes. I love it so much. You could tell she has some love going on here, some use. I could never let her go, so this will be staying with me. The formula is bomb. This next palette's from Cab Cosmetics. I do love this brand, but this palette is expired. I did a few swatches, and some of the shimmers seem to still be okay, but some of them do have really hard pan and is really getting to be hard to work with, so I'm going to let her go. From e.l.f. I have their 2 Mint Melt palettes, and they are very nice, and I like their quality, but they are just not the best palettes that I have. I have literally these exact colors in other palettes, so I'm going to let these cute little guys go to somebody else that will like them. This LA Girl palette right here, I literally did my best friend's wedding with this shadow. I absolutely love this foil color. I'll have to show you. It is so freaking cute. Absolutely adore. Look how shiny and foily that is. You cannot beat that. And this shimmer as well. Put it right next to it. Oh my gosh. Literally one of my top favorite palettes. She's staying with me. She ain't going nowhere. So it's a little unfortunate. These palettes actually came in a big box. So, and a cover, but the cover only literally fits one of these at a time. So the rest are like slowly going bad. So I literally wrapped them with a hair tie in hopes that they didn't go expired and all covered. But it's more of a pain in the ass, to be honest, than anything. So I will be giving these to a friend and declutter them. Subculture from Anastasia. I've had this girl for a while. I have absolutely loved her. I did even hit pan on my favorite color, Mercury. I think that because I have had her for so long, I can't get rid of it. I do love it so freaking much. I don't even know. I use this blue quite a lot too. Look how powdery it's getting. I probably really should let this go, but it's just going to kill me. I don't want to let it go. Some of it's still good. This is the hoarder and me talking if you can't tell. Yeah, I did hit pan. I did have fun with this palette, but if you cannot tell how powdery and blotchy they are, it's expired. So I will be decluttering. Okay, I got this big Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Mega Palettes. Look how gorgeous she is. All these beautiful purples, and this shimmer down here is my absolute favorite shimmer ever. It's like a purpley, silvery, I can't even explain it. I could just show you. Blend it out a little so you could see it. Look how beautiful. It's hard to tell with this light. You can't really tell the purple as much, but in the light, it's crazy pigment, this palette. You have to like barely dip a brush in. Definitely worth the price. Ilamusqua, if that is how you pronounce it. This is a very cute natural palette. Let's do some swatches. See, it does feel buttery still. That's pretty nice. Let me see here. I'm going to check out this shimmer. That is beautiful. I really do like this. Oh, should I keep it? Should I not? You know what? I literally have so many neutral shade palettes that I will give this to one of my friends and not be greedy. So even though the formula is bomb.com, I will get rid of it. BoxyCharm Hello Charmer. Here is this color story. I've been keeping it so long because I love this full size, the name of that one, and pop up. Don't really like glitter. I don't like getting it in my eyes, and the quality is pretty nice. Let me show you this blue. Look how stunning that is. Oh, I've had this so long. Should I keep it? I don't know. It is so hard getting rid of palettes, y'all. Alright, I will get rid of this finally. I've had it for a while. There's just no need for it to sit by my vanity and go bad when other people could get a lot of use out of it, so I will declutter. From Zoeva, I have the Caramel Melange, the Blanc Fusion, and Cocoa Blend. They're all pretty neutral palettes. If you see that one, it is pretty. Here is Blanc Fusion. If my hands work, here we go. And Caramel Melange. There is that palette. They are stunning palettes. This Blanc Fusion, I'm not really a fan of. I do want to keep one of them. I am going to be keeping the Cocoa Blend and getting rid of the Caramel and Blanc just because I like this color story more than these two. Revlon So Fierce. Look how this color story looks. Isn't that different? There is like they're all, I think this is all shimmer. Yeah, it's like butter though. It's so soft. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. This is, I think it's the only palette from Revlon that I own, but it is so buttery and gorgeous. I love how natural and beautiful they are. Very pigmented, and I am going to keep this in my collection. Here's the palette from Studio Makeup, Ease to Wear eyeshadow palette. I have had this a very long time. It is a dupe for a more expensive brand, but I've had this at least 2 years, and it's just starting to get hard pan, so I'm going to get rid of her. From Essence, I have the Hola Rio eyeshadow palette. She has a cute color story, but I will be decluttering her today because there's just more whitish colors, and there's only a couple pops of color. Just nothing that's like, oh my god, I want to grab that. No, I never reach for it. So I'm gonna get rid of Essence. Essence is a very hit or miss brand. It's just not, there's just no consistency. It's either a good palette or not a good palette. So this one is just not a good palette. So I will be decluttering. From Ciate London, we got a bunch of shimmers. And these are nice, but I have so many that are like it, so I'm going to declutter. From Wet n Wild, Pac-Man. It was limited edition, and they're all very bright colors. I literally got it for the aesthetics of Pac-Man, but let's face it, I'll probably never wear these colors. They're very bright. I'm more into like the natural neutrals these days, so I will be decluttering. Here is from Dose of Colors Blushing Berries. I just want to see, it feels so buttery. Here's the light. I'm just going to go right across. I really do like this color story. Even the black is nice. It's not even blotchy. Look how beautiful that is. I am going to keep this. From Pure, this is their Festival palette. It is gorgeous, but I don't ever reach for glitter at all. And it's pretty expired. I am going to finally declutter. From Smashbox, I love their front covers because you can see how everything kind of just like moves around. It is so cool. Okay, this one is their Cover Shot Minimalist Eye Palette. Okay, it has all, oh my god, just tell me that's not gorgeous. I love all of those neutrals. I will be keeping this. They are so freaking much money. And yes, the formula is worth it, but no, I am never letting this go. My grip is tight. BH Cosmetics. This is their Marble Collection Warm Stone. It's a good mixture of mattes and shimmers. I really do like this color story. I am going to keep this palette. BH is a really good brand. This is I Heart Revolution Peanut Butter Cup. Here's what she looks like. It is adorable, but I am going to declutter because I Heart Revolution's quality is very blotchy at some times and can be patchy, dry. This is, to me at least, this one, it is. So it is very dry. I'm going to declutter. From Maybelline, the Blushed Nudes. It is adorable, but the quality just isn't there for me. I'm going to declutter. From Tarte, which this one is Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2. Look how cute. I love the aesthetics of this. It is all shimmer, and hello, stay open, thank you. Used a lot of it, and it is a nice formula, but I will now be decluttering because why have 20 palettes that look the same, you know what I mean? And I use this good enough. I'm just decluttering now. I have two Beauty by Pop Sugar. These are cute. It has black on top, and they kind of just pop out. It makes it easy for travel. It's like black, brown, and a shimmer. I think they're adorable, but they tend to get lost in my makeup area, and it's just time for them to go. I am going to declutter these. Esmeralda 2 by Beauty Creations. I did enjoy them, but the quality is and I don't really like it. Just feels cheap to me, to be honest. Not a huge fan of this palette. I am going to declutter. Okay, I have 3 from Wet n Wild. This one is Walking on Eggshells, which they redid. This one's Fit for a Queen, which was limited edition. And this is Sweet as Candy. I just absolutely think this is cute because it has like nice Christmas colors. This is pretty, and to be honest with you, not one of these are even opened. They are completely shut still. It's never been opened. So I will declutter this and give it to a friend that could use some nice eyeshadows. From Urban Decay, Light Beam eyeshadow palettes. Look at these. I love this. Golden Hour it's called. It's so stunning. I am going to get rid of it because even though I just don't like this color story, nothing about it ever tells me, wow, you should really grab this and use it today. I am going to finally declutter. I have 2 beautiful eyeshadow palettes from Sephora. I think the aesthetics of this, they're beautiful palettes, but they're pretty old now. I just think they're just looking at them. I am going to declutter these. This is from Ciate London Glitter Storm. I love how all this sparkle moves inside. Packaging is adorable. This palette is still amazing quality. Look at that. Amazing quality, very buttery, and I love the packaging. I am going to keep this in my collection. It's from Pretty Vulgar, their Nightingale eyeshadow palette. This palette was not good formula. It's very dry and it's a little bit too dark for my liking. I will be decluttering this. This BH Cosmetics Summer in Saint Tropez. It has 16 colors. Look at all those colors. I do love this color story. I will be keeping this palette. Here's from Ofra. This has a nice gray color story, but they're just honestly too dark for me. It's all extremely dark gray, so I will be decluttering. It's another palette from Ofra. This has cute mint colors. I don't even think this was touched. It literally still has this plastic piece on here. I think this is meant for like highlight, bronze, blush, and all these beautiful eye colors. I will be giving this to a friend that can use it. Here's the same kind of concept as a bronzy contour blush, and all of these, I think these are gorgeous purples. This is a super dark purple. It's hard to tell on camera, but it is a cute, beautiful color story. I will also give it to a friend. It still has plastic on it. Here's Ace Beauty Quintessential Eyeshadow Palette. This one's just very, very chalky. I really wanted it to work because I do love a lot of the shimmers and colors, but it's just not great quality. I will be decluttering. Another Ace Beauty palette. Has like the reds, pinks, peach. I am going to declutter this. Butter London. Okay. So it does have a lot of nice neutral colors, more like earthy colors. I just don't really, I have a lot of palettes, so I'm trying to like, do I need it? I probably don't need it, so I will be decluttering. So this was kind of unfortunate because Morphe's a pretty good brand and Jeffree Star on his own's a pretty good brand, but when they put this palette together, I don't know if they were drinking or what, but the quality is wretched. There is like no pigment to her. She needs to go. She needs to go. So it's pretty unfortunate, but I am decluttering. From I Heart Revolution, Sweet and Tasty. I love how this palette looks. I think it's adorable. Here's what the color story is with the cute purples, teals, blues. And it's cute names too, like has Flick, Caramel Corn, Snack, Cinema, Lights Down, Theater, Kernel, Poppin'. I do love the color story, and it does have pretty good pigment. It's pretty good formula, so I will be keeping this in my collection. This Lorac Pro. This is very, very old, and they're all dried up. It's like you gotta dig it out now, so I am going to declutter. This Maybelline Total Temptation. I'm personally not a fan of their formula in this, so I am going to declutter. Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadows. Has nice purples at the bottom. Nothing in here screams to me to use it or grab for it. I am going to declutter. From Storybook Cosmetics, I have just been keeping these because I think they look so freaking cute. This one is Little Briar Rose. You open it like a book. It has a nice big mirror, and the color story is so adorable. So I'm going to keep that. And this one's Robin Hood. It's a smaller, cute one. And it has like greens, gold, and brown. I am going to keep that as well. Here is Hank and Henry Nudes. I don't really like these shades personally, so I am going to declutter. Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadows Like a Boss. I don't really like this color story, and it's just a huge palette. It's kind of in the way. It's annoying. I'm not a fan. Getting rid of it. Pure X Barbie. There is some nice shimmers, mattes, but I don't really need this in my collection anymore, so I will be decluttering. Here's the e.l.f. Jen Atkins palette. It has all of your eye shades up here, which kind of reminds me of the Truffle mini palettes. And it has your bronzer, blush, and highlights. So it's like nice for travel. It is good formula, but I don't really need all of this in one because I literally have all the e.l.f. stuff separately already in my collection that I love. So I will be giving this to a friend and declutter it. Iconic London. This palette, you guys, is incredible, and all of these shimmers and mattes are so freaking worth it. It's just so buttery and pigmented. I will be keeping this in my collection. This is one of my top dogs. It is the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. Look how gorgeous all of these nudes are. I absolutely love these mattes and shimmers. They are super pigmented. They wear all day. And they are just so buildable, blendable, and buttery. And it's cute because instead of names, it says like outer eyelid, blend, smoke, lash line, crease. Absolutely use this just about 4 out of the 7 days. That's how much I love this. Definitely keeping this in my collection. Another Essence Good Day Sydney eyeshadow palette. Again, not a huge fan of their formula. I am going to declutter. One of my favorites, this Tarte palette from Tartelette in Bloom. It has beautiful, beautiful natural shades, all from white. Then you got your tans, browns, black. I love this palette. It is nice and pigmented. Love their formula, so I'm going to keep it. Newer palettes I just bought from a girl that I watch on Facebook Lives. Her name is Esmeralda, and it's Esme Cosmetics. There is some glitter in here, which I personally will not use, but all of the mattes and shimmers are gorgeous. And I literally got this right off of her website. There is always new stuff coming out, and I love the formula, so I'm going to keep that. From Lime Crime, the Venus 3 palette. I just don't like the color story, so for that reason alone, I am going to declutter. Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadows HG. This is a nice natural palette, but I have so many, so I will be decluttering. This is Touch in Soul Phillip Orange. I'm not a ginormous fan of glitter, and the rest is kind of just to me. Like, there's nothing spectacular. I will be decluttering. Flower Beauty. This I could put on my eyes with the best eyeshadow primer, and it just literally, it doesn't even last. I'm not a fan of the formula, and it's very powdery. I will be decluttering. Party Animal by Laura Lee. This is a really big YouTuber as well, and it is freaking bright colors. I do think this is adorable. I love the colors, just not on my face, so I will be decluttering. Too Faced, I believe in pink. It is a cute palette, but of this formula I'm not a huge fan, and I've had it for a while. I will be decluttering. Naked Urban Decay Smoky. I think this is a gorgeous palette, but there's just so much dark colors in here that are grays and blacks, and not as much neutral colors that I would like. I will be decluttering. Tati Beauty. It's very, very good formula. I did use it for quite some time. I've had it for a long time, and at this time I feel like it's just time it needs to go. I haven't reached for it, and even though it's going to be very hard saying goodbye, it just idealistically has to be done. Jeffree Star has a lot of grays, shimmers, pretty expensive palette, and I think it's adorable. I love the formulas, but again, I literally used it for a few weeks when I first got it and never touched it again. So this is going to be another really hard thing to get rid of, because I waited forever for this to come out, but at this time I'm going to let it go. It's a Big Morphe palette, the 35F. It's a lot of shimmers, and I've had this for years. It definitely expired, so I'm gonna get rid of it. It's a big palette, which is kind of like the one I showed you earlier. Here's like how the cover comes, and then the rest are just in the box. This one I could show you how it comes in a ginormous box at least. So I'm going to declutter. It's like a casket looking palette. You open it, it's the Blue Blood from Jeffree Star. Here's all the blues. I absolutely love this color story. You get your naturals, your hints of color, and I love the formula, so I am going to keep this in my collection. Here is the Big Morphe X James Charles. This has so many colors in it. I do love it when I'm looking to wear some color. I definitely can't get rid of this. It is just too beautiful. So I'm keeping it in my collection. Here's another palette that I literally got years ago. I'm finally going to take this out of my collection because it's starting to get hard pan. I do love all the purples and everything in it, but it is definitely expired. This is from Alamar Cosmetics. Here is their color story. I'm personally not a fan of the color story, so I will be decluttering. Here's a Too Faced palette, Natural Beauty. Does have a lot of natural colors. I am going to declutter because I have so many others. Here, Cosmetics Midnight Masquerade. It has eyeshadows, blushes. I couldn't personally use most of the colors in here. Maybe somebody else will have more of a use for them, so I will declutter. Ace Beauty Classical Paradise. I do love the color story, but it's expired. I probably had this like 2.5 to 3 years, so I will finally declutter. Ace Beauty Vintage Dawn. I do think the color story is cute, but if you can't tell, I barely ever used it, so I will declutter it and give it to a friend. Morphe Manny MUA Glam Palette. This doesn't have the best formula, unfortunately. I did love it for the Aries shade. I love that shimmer, but I will be decluttering. This Ciate London. Here is the color story. I do like it. I think it's an adorable palette. I literally just never reach for it, and I don't want it sitting here going to waste, so I will be decluttering. The little Morphe palette, the 12S, all shimmer. I don't know. I just literally have so many other shimmers and colors that are just like that, so I will declutter. I have two from Violet Voss, Essentials 1 and 2. Number 1, Color Story, I am going to declutter. And number 2, I am going to declutter. Their formula is just okay. There's nothing super fantastic or amazing about it, so I will be decluttering. Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry Palette. This palette is bomb. Love their shimmers and mattes, and is just an easy everyday go-to palette. I am definitely keeping her. Got my Urban Decay Naked Wild West. I love this color story and I love this palette. I am definitely keeping this. Okay, and I got two little guys from Natasha Denona. I think they're adorable. They kind of remind me of Elf, just how they're packaged, but it's Natasha Denona and I love her and I love her formulas. I am going to keep. Okay, I got Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder. I am not a fan of this color story at all, so I will declutter. Ace Beauty Nostalgia. I do like this color story, but I think it's just a little too bright for my liking, so I will say goodbye. I have to be realistic sometimes because I am just hoarding makeup and I literally just let it sit there and it goes to waste, and that's just not cool. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. This girl has gotten so much love over the years. It is very well expired and I really, unfortunately, need to get rid of it. It was the best formula palette that I ever received from Morphe. Me and her has had some good times for sure, but I will be decluttering at this time. Violet Voss Olive You Forever. Here's some naturals, a hint of green. I got this in my boxy, I want to say. The formula's okay, nothing fantastic. I will be decluttering. She just taken up spice. BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis, 19 shades in here. There is nothing I ever reach for. I'm just not thrilled with the color story. I will be decluttering. The Morphe 3503 Fierce by Nature. This has such beautiful, bright summer colors. Look at this green. It's like a lime green. Look at that. That pigment comes through, and I'll put the shimmer right next to it so you can see. Look how beautiful. I don't know. I don't even go for glitter, but it is a nice glitter. I literally just feel, personally, I never reach for it, and I think it's got to be expired. I've had it for a few years. I will, unfortunately, let her go. Morphe 35C. I actually got this a bit more recent. This has nice purples, pinks, more like pastel-y. It also has dark. I will be keeping this in my collection. I really do enjoy this. Violet Voss Pro. I think this is a second one, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to declutter. Alright, this is the Pat McGrath palettes. This is the Pat McGrath's Mothership. And it says, it's so funny, it says, use without caution. Shade throwing and eye ecstasy may result with prolonged use. So that's a nice warning. I love the color story, and I love the shimmers in it. They are so freaking pigmented. It's insane. I love this palette. I am definitely keeping it in my collection. CoverGirl True Naked Roses. It is a pretty dry formula. I tried to give it a few uses, and I just couldn't fall in love with her. So I will be decluttering. I have 3 of the Harry Potter palettes. They were in a collection at Ulta Beauty. I've had these for a few years, and I never reach for them, and I don't want them to go expired. So I will declutter, and maybe my friend will fall in love. Here's from Dose of Colors Pretty Cool. I do have so many other shades that have these brown shades, so I will declutter this one. And another Dose of Colors Snow Angels. I did like this. I don't know. I just feel like this is a little crazy. Just out of my league. Look how pretty that is. But yeah, it's not really for me. I am going to declutter this. It is a good formula, but I just need to let her go. This I've had for a while from Too Faced, their chocolate chip palettes. I think they call it chocolate chip because it's so cute and tiny. I do like this. It is all matte. I used it for a while. Definitely expired by now. I had her for years, so I will be decluttering. The Hank & Henry Spring Fling. This is so freaking bright. I do love the color story, so I don't know. I'm kind of tossed on whether I should get rid of her or not. I think the colors are just so cute. Look at the formula. Look how beautiful that is. Now it's going to be... Now, realistically, I shouldn't be keeping this, but the formula, if you can't tell, is just too nice to get rid of. I will be keeping this. From Jeffree Star, I got the Mini Breaker. And it has really nice purple, gold, pink. I absolutely love the way this looks. I will be keeping this. Another Jeffree Star Blood Sugar Palettes. This formula is just bomb. I literally can't. I have to keep it. I'm a hoarder. Let's just face facts around here, okay? Love this palette. Keeping it. Alright, now we're getting into all of my color pops. I have so freaking many. It's crazy. ColourPop Wild Child. Oh my god, my fingers don't work today. Look how stunning this is. I absolutely adore and love this palette. I will be keeping. Got ColourPop in a Trance, which is more like pastel colors. This, for some reason, I don't know if it's just pastel-y, but they're a little bit more on the powdery, dry side. I want to like it, but they're kind of just, I don't know, they're just too dry. I will be decluttering this one. From Huda Beauty, I have the Pastels Lilac. This formula is so soft and buttery. I can't see myself getting rid of this. I will be keeping it because if you know, purple is one of my favorite colors ever. ColourPop Making Mauves. This color story is beautiful as well. And I do love their shimmers. I will be keeping this. ColourPop, that's Taupe. It's more of a cool toned, nice everyday palette. I will be keeping. ColourPop, You Had Me at Hello. Here's this one. I did love her. I used a lot of her, but I have so many others like this. I will declutter. ColourPop Below in Smoke is just white, gray, and black. And I will be decluttering because I just really never reach for it, unfortunately. Then I got Honey, which has more of the yellowy tones. And this is just so different, and I don't have many other palettes with the yellows. I will be keeping in my collection. ColourPop Whatever. My mom will laugh. This is the one that accidentally fell in my pocket when I was leaving her house. And I've had her ever since. I will be keeping in my collection. ColourPop Yes Please. This one is gorgeous, like a nice summery palette. I'm sorry she is so dirty. But again, I do have these colors and shades in other palettes I will be decluttering. ColourPop Good as Gold. Not of blacks. Not a fan of this color story. I will be decluttering. ColourPop All That has a lot of the reds, maroons, pinks. Unfortunately, never reach for this one. I will be decluttering this one. Then we have ColourPop Give It To Me Straight. Has more of like natural nudes. Nothing really exciting for me in this palette. I will be decluttering. MAC Pretty Punk. It's supposed to say Pretty Pink, Pretty Punk. Here is the way this one looks. Look at this purple. I just want to show you this one. It's very dry. It's like drying out. I will be decluttering. This is pretty old. I'm just literally, it's hard for me to let things go, so unfortunately things get old. Alter Ego, very, very good brand for duping the expensive brands such as Anastasia, Huda, Beverly Hills, etc. Here is the color story in this guy. I really, really do love this palette and I enjoy using it. Will be keeping in my collection. From Tarte, their foil finger paints. I think they're absolutely stunning. I will show you on my hand how beautiful they are. I'll just do a quick swatch of all three and show you how beautiful. Look at these. They are so, so stunning. I will be keeping this in my collection. Smashbox. This one is Golden Hour Eye Palette. This one's okay. I have the other one from Petal Metal that I enjoy using more, so I will be keeping this one and decluttering this one. Okay, Alter Ego Canyon. I do love the color story, pigment, and formulas of this. I will be keeping. Aurora Alter Ego. I'm not too huge a fan of the color story. It's kind of repetitive. I will be decluttering. Blooms Alter Ego. It's more like purples, pink. I never really reach for it. Some of them have hard pan. I will unfortunately be decluttering this. Maybelline Soda Pop. I thought this was cute packaging, but it is getting expired, so I do have to unfortunately toss this palette. Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat's Pajamas. It is cute packaging, but the formula is kind of drying out for how long I've had it, so unfortunately I will be decluttering. From Juvia's Place, it is the Nubian 2 palette. It has huge eyeshadows in here. This color story doesn't scream my name. I never seem to reach for it. I will be decluttering this palette. Got the Naked palette Cherry. Look how pretty. It has a lot of pink tones, nice shimmers. Really do like this palette, but I will be decluttering because I do tend to grab more of the browns, tans. I don't really use these color shades that much. OPV Beauty London. It is Spotlight eyeshadow palette. Look at these colors. I really like some of these mattes and shimmers, and it really is good quality. And I love the way the palette looks. I will be keeping in my collection. Revolution, Makeup Revolution London. Does it have a name? Yes, it does. Precious Stone Rose Quartz. I love the way it feels. It is so bougie. Okay, she's had a lot of love in her day, but I have so many others even that are more expensive, so there's no reason to really keep this. It is good formula. It's a good palette, but it's repetitive to what I already have in my collection. I will be decluttering. e.l.f. The New Classics. Some of these work and some of them are no pigment, so because of the inconsistency, I will be decluttering. The Juvia's The Berries. It has nice berry shades. I just never tend to grab these shades for myself personally, so I will be decluttering this, but the formula by Juvia's Place is amazing. OPV Beauty London Yanoha. Here is the color story. I really do love this palette, and I will be keeping this in my collection. It actually reminds me of the Juvia's Place texture formula. It's really good quality. The Festival by Juvia's. Some of them are really bright. I don't like the color story. I will be decluttering. Ditto or Dito, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. It is the Venus palette. It is limited edition. It is all really nice metallics. It's beautiful, but I am going to declutter just for the fact that it's not screaming Ashlie. This is from Violet Voss Best Life 2. For one, I never use glitter in my eyes personally because I like my vision. The rest of these were very good quality. I've had this for a couple years, and I have other palettes that I can use, and it just takes up more space, and there's just so much in this palette that I don't use, so I will be decluttering. Same thing with this. It's the Violet Voss Best Life. All these shimmers, and the inside, it is beautiful, but I never reach for it, and I will be decluttering. Impulsive Melt Cosmetics. I will be decluttering this because I'm just not too fond of the color story anymore. Most of them are just too dark or not my favorite shade, so I will be getting rid of this. But again, the quality is very nice. Laura Lee Nudie Patootie has a lot of gorgeous natural colors, but she's expired, so I am going to declutter. LA Girl in Playmate. I Love the shade of this. I am going to keep this because I know the formula is amazing. These two from Alamar, I am going to declutter because I've had them for a very long time and I haven't even touched them in, I would say, well over a year, so it's their time to go. It's a purple one. This is the Color Story. And here's the color story for that one. Beauty Bakery Breakfast in Bed. This one has literally, I don't even think it's been touched. I literally love this palette so much. I begged my mom to get it because I fell in love with hers. So she surprised me one day. I don't know if it was Christmas or my birthday. They're kind of back to back. But she surprised me with this. And you could see I'm like so in love with it. I'm scared to even touch it, but I need to. I'm going to keep this and I'm going to start using this. Urban Decay Born to Run. I love this palette. It is such good quality eyeshadows. I have had this palette for a hot minute and look how good the quality still is. It's just literally a staple in my collection and there's just no way I could ever get rid of it because I like it. So I'm keeping it. Temptress from Alter Ego. I really do enjoy this palette. I will be keeping this in my collection. Too Faced Chocolate Bar. I actually got this on sale. I think it was at TJ Maxx. The quality is okay. It's kind of just dry and dusty, so I will be tossing this. One of my favorites, the Naked Reloaded Urban Decay palette, and keep my Reloaded. Had a second Butter London because BoxyCharm likes to do that sometimes and send two, so I will be decluttering. Okay, one of my new ride or dies. Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes. For one, I've never ever had a palette I could say I liked every single shade. Everything from left to right, I can literally say I love every shade. I've been using this every single day and I can't complain at all. I got this as a part of the 21 Days of Beauty from Ulta, and I literally keep this on my vanity so I can use it every day, and I love their packaging. So I'm definitely, if you can't tell already, keeping that. The Violets by Juvia's Place has all my favorite purples, so of course I'm gonna keep that. Oh, Abby from Spoiled Cosmetics. I've had her a few years and she's pretty expired by now. The whole color story drew me in, but I don't really use it and the quality is not that amazing. I am going to get rid of it. I have Petalette from Wet n Wild, and the quality is good, but I have these shades and other palettes that I already kept, so I am going to declutter. KKW Beauty. What's the name of this? It is Classic Bloom. This is freaking amazing quality. I love this palette. I am going to keep this. ColourPop Land Candy Castle. I am not a huge fan of pastel colors. For that reason, of course, alone, I am going to declutter and let somebody else get use out of it. One of my ride or dies, you can tell how beautiful and dirty she is the ColourPop Going Coconuts. It has a beautiful mirror on the top, and it has an everyday go-to shade. I'm almost shook that I haven't hit pan on this yet because how much I use this thing. I literally love this palette and I could never ever let this go. So I will be keeping. Lorac Unzipped Unfiltered. I love this palette. It has 3 gorgeous shimmers and 2 mattes. Absolutely love it. Here's the e.l.f. Truffles. I absolutely love the quality and the shades. I am keeping this. Okay, I have 2 more Natasha Denonas. I absolutely love these and I am going to keep them. They're amazing formula. Okay, the e.l.f. palette. This one's in Acai You. I love the purpley blue tones in this. I am definitely keeping this in my collection. Here's another Beauty by Pop Sugar palette. And again, the formulas are okay, nothing amazing, so I will be decluttering. From Becca, I have the palette Ombre Rouge. Here's nice nudes. I have this kind of in other palettes, so I will be decluttering. ColourPop Blush Crush. I love that name. Here's cute pinks and maroon type colors. I will be keeping this in my collection. Here's another Blow and Smoke. I will be decluttering. And here's a cute Bambi from ColourPop. They had a Bambi collection. I do love these shades. I will be keeping. From the same collection, I have Flower, which is the skunk from Bambi. Oh no, the purple got a little ruined. It's fine. We're still going to work with it. It's just a little cracked. I could push that right back in. So I am going to keep this. They're just such great formula. I'll work with it no matter what. And she's got Solstice from ColourPop. I do love these shades as well. They're nice and very light, neutral tones, everyday, easily wear. We'll be keeping that. All right, these two little guys from Unique. It is a nice maroon and kind of like the same. I've had these for literally, I would say about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years. So it's definitely time for them to get decluttered. Dose of Colors palette. Here's the color story. I will be finally decluttering because most of these shades I probably wouldn't ever reach for, so I will declutter. I literally got 4 of these quad shades from ColourPop. This one's in Mocktail. This one's in Sorbet. This one is Cream Soda. And I have Extra Toppings. They are freaking amazing quality. You could not go wrong. I absolutely love these to death, and I will be keeping in my collection. I forgot one more. I also have Sparkler, which is the darker brown quad. Love it. Keeping that. And from ColourPop, I have Ballad, which is cute, cool tones and good quality. I will be keeping that. And a last elf I have is Cream and Sugar. Nice neutral tones. I will be keeping that. And to wrap up this video, I got rid of 128 palettes. You do the math. We started at 185 and got rid of 128. I would say today was a very good declutter. I should literally pat myself on the back because usually hoarders can't do that. So before I keep looking in this declutter bin, let me get rid of this and give it to my friend. I will see you on my next video. Bye, y'all.